Hey there, everybody. I'm going to do a quick Pecha Kucha on gamification. If you're not sure what a Pecha Kucha is, it's a presentation that's 20 slides. Each slide is 20 seconds, and the key is to use really cool pictures and not very many words. This presentation was created using Haiku Deck, and all the pictures are CC licensed, if you can see at the very bottom. So what is gamification? Gamification is taking what we love about games and what makes games so popular and applying it in a different way. So today I'm going to be talking about education, but you could also be thinking about professional development and all that good stuff. So why do we love games? We love games because A, they're differentiated. Anybody of any skill level can get something out of the game. The game knows if it should be easier or harder. You can choose. I'm just beginning this game. I'm going to be a rookie, so I'm just going to have it at the easiest and then change the level. So it's differentiated. There's a lack of fear when it comes to games. We're not scared of making mistakes. We're in a safe environment where we know what we can and cannot do. We have familiarity. There isn't that fear factor that you might find in a classroom. And part of that is that we're not afraid to fail. When we look at video games in particular, you are failing an average of 80% of the time. So just think, all these kids are playing these games and failing and failing and failing and failing, but still being persistent, having grit and waiting until they solve it and then having that great time. And why can't we have that in the classroom? Another thing about games is that they're social. There's wikis and websites where kids are talking about how they beat a level in World of Warcraft or they did this quest, and there's this social aspect of games that's really appealing to a lot of persons. All of this kind of leads up to this idea of independence, right? If you hand a kid a game, they're not going to sit down and go, "Hey, can you explain this to me step by step so I know how to play it?" They go, they try things, they try it, and if it doesn't work, they try something again. All of this kind of leads to them having this feeling of ownership, that they own what they're doing. And we desperately need our students to feel like they own what they're doing in your classroom. And taking some of these ideas and implementing them is what we're going to be talking about. And I'm not talking about using games in your classroom. I'm not talking about using technology. I'm talking about changing the way you view your classroom and the work that you're doing, that your students are doing for you on a daily basis. We think about where kids start. They all start, they have this feeling of success, right? Everyone's a 4, everyone's 100%, everyone's an A. And then they do things to lose points. And they do things to not be a 4 anymore. Or they can just still be a 4. There's no place to go. So let's start from somewhere else. Let's start from 0. When we play games, we don't have any experience, right? We don't have any points. We do things to earn experience points. We do things to earn different ideas. And when we get to a certain point, we get to level up. So maybe, just maybe, look at grades like different levels. How many points will it take to get this level? And how many opportunities are you going to give those kids? Remember, games, they have unlimited amount of opportunities. They get to go and go and go until they master it. And what's better than that when it comes to education if we have all of our kids motivated? All right, so badges are important. And when it comes to video games, you earn badges for doing certain quests. So instead of maybe getting a 2 or a 3 on your math test, maybe you get a badge that says you're a great mathematician or you've mastered this idea. What we want at the end of the day, we want our kids to progress, right? From the beginning of the year to the end of the year, we need them to progress. But progression sometimes just isn't good enough. We need them to progress as much as we can. And in order for a student to progress, they need 4 things happening for them, which video games do a great job of, and I know that we can do a great job of in our classrooms. The first thing is challenge. If you ask me to do something or a student to do something, I have to know 90% of what it is that I'm expected to do. 90%. If I know less than that, It's too hard for me. If I know more than 90%, it's too easy. When we're talking about reading, that goes up to 96 to 99%. I need to know that many words on the page for it to be the right challenge. Kids need to be committed to what they're doing. They're committed to video games. They play video games all the time. They don't give up. They keep going. Let's bring that commitment into our classroom so the kids are committed to learning and committed to that lifestyle, being an active, engaged learner. What else do we need? They need belief. They need to be able to believe in themselves. They need to be able to be safe and know that if they do need help, if they have tried and failed, that you as a teacher are there to support them, that their peers are there to support them. They need to feel safe. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to fail. You just get back up and you do it again, and that's great, and that's part of life, and that's part of learning. They need to have expectations. They need to know what's expected of themselves. They need to be able to predict how they're going to do. They need to know themselves so well that you could give them a test. They look at it and they go, oh, I'm going to get a 3 on this because I don't know this part, but I know all this other stuff. They need to be able to predict what they're going to do and actually do it. That's key. So what might this look like? So you got Luigi and Mario. They're level 20 readers. And so you maybe put together a series of level 20 books for them to read. And maybe some activities to go with that to show what you've been learning in Reader's Workshop when it comes to their different strategies. And when they complete all of those things, you know what they get to do? They get to go to boss level, and they get to battle the level 24 book, or a level above, or wherever you're going. And there's so many things we can do with this, so many little places to start. And if you are interested in this, or you want to talk about it more, we can. So just leave a message under the video and let's start the conversation.